Hey guys, we are here once again at the CSE at Changi for yet another EV review right here on Revv Evolution. Hi everyone, happy holidays, and it's me, Renee, here with Jun. So bro, what do we have for everybody today?
So we have the Zeekr, which is a premium electric mobility brand under Geely, and we have the Zeekr X, which is new entrance in the compact SUV market in Singapore. Comes in both rear-wheel drive, and what we have for you today, the all-wheel drive version.
That's right, and with the Zeekr X entering the market, we're going to find out how well the Zeekr X holds up against the competition.
Hey guys, Jin here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the interior of this car. This car has a luxurious, beautiful rose gold and grey trim. It's got really modern designs and touches to it. For the two front seats, we have these ventilated sport seats because it's a very powerful car. As for how many passengers this car sits, it sits 4 comfortably. You can squeeze 5 in. I want to talk to you about one of the highlight features that this car has is the voice activated controls, which I'll demo right now. Hey Zeekr.
Hi.
What's the weather like today?
Today there will be thunderstorms in Singapore with a low of 24 and a high of 29 degrees Celsius.
As you can see, this car is really responsive. To find out more about the technologies in this car, check out our in-car review. Hey guys, now we're going to talk about boot space. So, as we said, this is a compact SUV. You must be wondering how much space this car has. Well, it's got 362 liters, and if you fold everything flat, you get 1,182 liters, which isn't much, but it's enough for your luggages for small trips.
Right folks, welcome back once again. It's me, Renee.
And Jun.
And this is the section we call the Bros Review. That's right, this is the section of the video where we talk more things about your handling and the other technical features which we didn't discuss in the earlier part of the video. Alright, and with and this, by the way, if this joined us, this is the Zeekr X all-wheel drive, available in 2 variants. Of course, there's the rear-wheel drive, but this one, again, this car that we have has a whole lot of features, so there's really a lot to cover, and we really don't want to waste a lot of time, so we're just going to try to keep it as short as possible. And to kick things off, of course, talk about the usual stuff like your selling price and everything else. All right, yeah, so here we go. First of all, how much does it cost to drive the Zeekr X all-wheel drive here in Singapore? Well, it's going to cost you $234,999 inclusive of COE, and this car, of course, sits in the Cat B category because of its horsepower, but you still get a rebate of about $40,000 with your EAI and stuff like that. So even after the $40,000 rebate, it still costs $234,000, right? And with road tax, once again, as I mentioned, because of the high horsepower, it's going to cost you a whopping $4,415 annually, which is really to me, I mean, it's really expensive. Okay, and in terms of dimensions of the car itself, it's 4.3 meters for the length. The width is 1.83 meters, and the height is 1.56 meters. And for the weight, weight weighs 1.9 tons, which is
very heavy,
pretty heavy. And it's, I think a couple of cars that we kind of featured also weigh around that territory. So they've been keeping to that standard. And now moving over to Jun's going to tell us a bit more about the specs of the car. Take it away, bro.
So a quick run through the specs of this car. This car has a battery capacity of 66 kilowatts, which is on the higher side of the current market.
That's right.
This car comes equipped with dual motor and runs with 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
So this car tops out at a top speed of 180 km/h, digitally limited, of course.
Right.
and has a total power of 428 horsepower.
It's sports car mode, man.
Sports car mode, and a total torque of 543 newton meters of torque.
That's a lot of pulling power.
That's so high.
Okay, and okay, so now moving over to the other section, which I think is very important, because this being EV, you definitely want to know more about is the charging. And once again, for charging, you have two options between your AC charging, or slow charging as we call it, and your DC charging or fast charging. So in terms of AC charging, this car does between 30 to 80% in 7 hours, which is...
It's quite standard, yeah.
That's the kind of standard timing that you will get your car charged. And in terms of fast charging, this car, once again, from 30 to 80%, based on a 150 kilowatt charger, it does it in under 30 minutes, which is pretty fast.
A nice toilet break,
coffee, a bit of chit chat before you know your car's fully charged. Okay,
so how fast is this car pull 0 to 100?
Oh yeah, we kind of missed on that one. Okay, so acceleration, it does 3.8 seconds.
That's so fast for a family SUV.
Right, and and for range, which is the one once again, I think the one of two most important things when you talk about EVs. All right, this car does 420 kilometers, which is based on the WLTP standard, or the World Harmonized Light Vehicle Test Procedure. So once again, I've been getting a lot of comments in the videos when I posted the range for the cars. People could say, "Hey, don't bluff. That's not the range. It's always less than that." Yeah, of course. The range is very subjective on how you drive, right?
Yeah, road condition,
exactly.
That kind of thing, yeah.
But this is based once again on the world standard. So they're just giving you an example on straight roads that they're testing it. So it gives you about 420 kilometers. So it might vary between maybe 20 kilometers or less. Okay, so it depends on how you drive.
But it will probably still take you down the KL, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah. Well, this car has a adaptive four-wheel drive system, which lets you swap between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive.
Right.
It does so automatically in under 0.4 seconds.
Wow. So now it was kind of like an intelligent all-wheel drive system.
So whenever you need the power, it will put it to the wheel.
Right. Which I think is really cool, because then you don't have to kind of manually switch between all-wheel and rear-wheel drive. So really cool. The other thing that the car has itself is this thing called the Zeekr traction control system. Okay, we didn't really get time to test it out, but what it does is basically it allows the car to actually kind of control itself in really challenging conditions. Example, you decide to do a bit of off-roading, or you might be
tire skidding.
Exactly. And according to Zeekr, this system actually works under 0.4 seconds, which is really impressive.
I think they're saying it's 10 times faster than normal traction control.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, we couldn't test it out because we are very safe drivers in Singapore, so we didn't get to test it out. All right, so now moving on over to the ADAS system, which is a whole bunch of stuff which Jun's gonna tell you about. Okay, bro, take it away, man.
All right, Zeekr advertises this car with over 16 safety features.
That's a whole lot, man.
Yeah, but we'll just highlight a few more interesting ones. Like we have the standard adaptive cruise control, and they have something called the lane centering control, which paired together gives you basically autopilot.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And of course, with standard features, you have the turn signal, turn cameras, emergency lane keep.
I said turn signal is pretty impressive, because you take corners, you can really see what's happening in the corner, right?
Yes.
It kind of automatically comes on, and
there's cameras all around this car.
Exactly. Yeah. So really impressive with that one as well.
So
what else?
Speaking of cameras, this also has a 360 camera on the car.
Right. Okay.
As you look around, if you need to, in case there's tiny, shorter curbs.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And also blind spot detection,
which is really standard, I guess, in most cars. Right?
Yes, and of course assisted parking.
Right. Okay. So now let's move on over to Jun's going to tell us a bit more about the driving styles of this car. All right. Go ahead, Jun. Yeah.
So this car has 3 driving modes for acceleration. They call it the comfort mode, the standard mode, and the sports mode.
That's pretty normal for.
It's pretty normal for most cars. That comfort mode, of course, is. Most cars would call it economical, I guess.
Yes, eco mode, I guess.
Eco mode, yes. Standard would be a balance between both. And of course, sports puts down all the 428 horsepower to this car.
You go crazy with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And of course, there's regenerative braking, which if you've driven an EV, you feel it every time you take your foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, I really hate that feeling, when
it will draw back and recharge the batteries. Right, so that comes in 2 modes. Sports mode, which is
more harsh, I think.
More harsh, yes.
In terms of how the acceleration is.
And the normal one, which is the standard.
Right.
And of course, there's the power-assisted steering, which is the feedback you get from your steering wheel.
Right.
So you have comfort mode, normal mode, and sports mode. increasingly more feedback as you go up to sports mode.
It gets more harder, I guess.
It gets heavier. Yeah, it gets stiffer.
It gets stiffer because with sports mode you want more control of the car, right? So I guess it gets more. So now moving on over to the stuff that we really love about the car, and one of the main things that I love about the car is the fact that it has a really large windscreen, right? And if you're sitting in this car, you can actually see that. It gives you a clear view of everything all around you.
It's a lot of glass. Yeah.
A lot of glass, exactly, and it gives you a good view of the traffic. And what I love about it is the fact that also the A-pillar is nice and thin. It gives you a real clear view of everything around you, and it really kills a lot of your blind spot. And the fact that with this nice, beautiful panoramic sunroof, it makes everything in the cabin really lighted up.
And it looks a lot bigger.
Exactly. So and I think they've really done a great job with the glass. And now moving on over to the things that we hate about the car, and there's I wouldn't say hate, but I don't really like about it, is the fact that there's I think you noticed that as well, bro, is the fact that there's a lack of functionality on the steering wheel.
Yes.
All right. With most cars, we have this thing called the multifunctional steering wheel, where you can actually do a lot of stuff like change your volume, change your stuff and everything else. But this one doesn't have. It just has two little gold buttons, which doesn't really give you a lot of choices of what you can actually do. And also the fact that the main screen that you're looking at, the driver's display, there's also nothing much as well. I mean, I love minimalistic things on the screen, but this is really like, it doesn't tell you about how much charge you have left, how much range you have left. Only thing and the stuff that I saw you can do is actually change your songs, change your temperature and
aircon,
change your aircon, and gives you the
music.
Yeah, change music. So, and the rest of the stuff which I think is really the stuff that we need on the screen is not being displayed. Okay, so yeah. So that's some of the stuff that we really don't like about the car. So I think we've really covered, honestly, a lot of stuff on the Zeekr X. With that said, once again, it's me, Renee,
and Jun,
signing off. Right, folks, it's now that time of the video that we call the summary. And to tell us a bit more is Jun. Take it away, bro.
Alright, bro. In terms of handling and performance of this car, it's a great car. You can check out more in our in-car review. But in terms of the competition at this price point, it's a bit steep. But it handles well. It's a powerful car. It's got great design elements and full of technology.
That's right, and to add to what Jun mentioned, as you mentioned, in Singapore, really, there's just so many brands for you to choose from. And with the Singaporeans, of course, with the COE and everything else, you're really thinking about how much am I really willing to pay for this car. But at that price point, with all the bunch of things that Jun mentioned, its looks, its styling, and everything else, it might be one of the cars that you might want to consider. We want to say a big Revv Evolution thank you to our friends over at the Civil Service Club at Changi for allowing us to have this really beautiful location to shoot our review.
And a big thank you to Zeekr for giving us a Zeekr X for our review. And to find out more about Revv Evolution and our lifestyle of cars, do check out all our platforms.
Right, and also don't forget to subscribe. And once again, on behalf of myself, Renee,
and Jun,
signing off.